Officer, my best friend was just murdered by a guy wearing a baseball cap inside that building. You come with me. I didn't do it. Go!
James Creed is being held in the Gordon County Prison for the murder of Timothy Carter. Timothy Carter is the famous leader of the Red Mob of Gordon County, and he also is well known for his export business, which is said to bring in millions of dollars each year. The suspect, James Creed, is being held without bail and is awaiting trial next week. The odd thing about the suspect is that although the evidence points to James Creed, he is not a member of the Red Mob's rival mob, the Blue Mob. The two different mobs of Gordon County are always trying to kill each other's leader. It's quite a strange situation. However, in other news, Obama trips and breaks his leg and sports down the campaign race. News Channel 9, a team you can trust.
Action.
We need to contact this James Creed person and see if we can represent him in this case. So, Mr. Creed, if you would, please tell us about the night of the murder. Just tell us what happened.
Well, I was knocked out, and when I was being woken up, I was being arrested for the murder of Timothy Carter.
We will do all we can to prove your innocence. That James Creed person got what he deserved. He was a pushover and everyone would get his hands dirty. Now that we've killed the leader of the Red Mob and got James Creed back for what he did to us, we will be known as the best mob in all of Gordon County.
Yes.
This is undoubtedly the private weapon.
Yes, a crowbar. I'll go call the crime lab and send it to you and see if they can dust it for fingerprints.
I'll go survey the area.
Court is now in session for the case of the state of Georgia against James Creed. James Creed, will you please rise? Do you plead guilty or not guilty of the murder of Timothy Carter?
Not guilty, Your Honor. I would like to call my first witness to the stand. Charles Kelly, will you please take the stand? Will you please describe what you saw on the day of the murder and tell me why you were there?
I'm homeless and I saw an open door, so I went in to find a place to rest.
Who is this guy? I don't believe his story.
I would like to do some research on this Charles Kelly person.
Judge, may we have a 10-minute recess?
I'm looking through the phone book for Charles Kellyhorn. Ah, here he is. He lives at 312 Tree Line Way. He's not homeless.
312 Tree Line Way? That's one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in the city.
Action.
Court is now back in session. So, you expect us to believe that you're just a homeless person who wandered into the warehouse trying to find shelter? Well, in that case, I have only one thing to say. Objection, Your Honor! Take a look at this phone book. It says here that you live at 312 Tree Line Way, one of the most prestigious areas of Calhoun. So, do you honestly expect us to believe that you're homeless? What were you really doing at that warehouse at that night?
Action.
Okay, I'll confess. I'm really a professional smuggler and a friend of Timothy Carter. I swear to you that I did see the murderer that night and that he was wearing a baseball cap.
Action.
I recognize that face. That's him. That's the murderer.
Action.
We need evidence of this accusation. Anyone can stick on a ball cap and look like the murderer.
Done.
These are the results from the lab.
The fingerprints on the crowbar are James Creed's.
Action.
It appears that the only possible explanation is that James Creed killed Timothy Carter, the leader of the Red Mob, but the true criminal forgot to dispose of one piece of evidence: these gloves. Put these gloves on.
Action.
See? They fit perfectly. See if these fit you.
They don't fit.
These gloves were found at the crime scene in a trash bin. Now, one of the oldest criminal tricks in the book is when using a weapon, always wear gloves. So, if James Creed committed the crime, those gloves would have fit. And we still have to make sense of the fact that Mr. Gavin's hands fit perfectly into the gloves. And also, don't forget Mr. Kellyborn's statement about Gavin. Remember.
That's him. That's the murderer.
And also, when I visited you in solitary confinement, you stated that.
I mean, I was knocked out, and when I was being woken up, I was being arrested for the murder of Timothy Carter.
We will do all we can to prove you're innocent.
Now, try to take in all that and still blame James Creed for the murder.
Finally, it's all beginning to make sense.
James Creed, you are free to go. You are not the murderer of Timothy Carter. However, Mr. Gavin, you have some explaining to do. Wrong! You're all wrong! Well, I was not the murderer! Nobody move! Nobody move! You'll never catch me! Not pull your phone yet!
Why did you blame me for the murder?
I'm sorry, guys. I just can't push myself to do evil deeds. I'm done.
Well, guys, we just lost our best smoke.
Alright, guys. I've got a genius plan. My decoy job as an assistant attorney is coming out perfectly. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We can kill Timothy Carter, the leader of our rival mob, the Red Mob, and we can get James Creed back for the hard thing he did to us. So here's what we gotta do. We're gonna have to kill Timothy Carter. Pretty simple, actually. Just beat him over the head with a crowbar in a warehouse, whatever. Just sneak in on one of the meetings one night. But then we're going to blame James Creed for it. And then I'm going to go and be the attorney on the case and make sure that he loses. And so that way, that we will be the greatest mob in all of Gordon County, and also we'll have gotten James Creed back, and he'll be in jail for the rest of his life, perhaps even a death sentence.